Welcome to the Free Your Spirit podcast. My name is Louise Wilson. I'm a mystic, healer, entrepreneur, and business coach, and I am obsessed with helping you open up the lines of communication with your spirit so that you can receive the wisdom, the guidance, the clarity, and confidence you need to reach your big goals and dreams. Thank you for joining me on the Free Your Spirit podcast. And in this episode, we're actually going to be talking about frequency, and more specifically, your energy and your frequency, because essentially it's not time or money that's actually separating you from the reality you desire. It's actually energy, and more specifically, your energy. So the hippies were right all along. It really is all about the vibe. Your vibe, your frequency, your energy. And this isn't new age philosophy or woo. This is actually grounded in science, because Einstein, that world-renowned physicist, as he said, everything is energy, and that's all there is to it. Match the frequency of the reality you want, and you cannot help but get that reality. It can be no other way. And it's not philosophy, it's physics. So obviously, action is important to fulfill your goals. It's important that we take action. But here's the thing, it's about the energy that we take action in. Taking the right action, but also taking action in the right energy, being able to operate at the right frequency. If you imagine you want to boil a kettle or you want to boil an egg, you know that you have to crank the dial on the stove to raise the energy so that you can boil that egg at whatever rate, right? So it's no different with our own energy. It's just all about being able to and knowing how to manage our energy. You know, knowing how to manage the 4 key levels of our energy. And that's what we're actually going to talk about today, because it's not just about hustling. Well, it's not really about hustling. It's about acting in the right energy, the right frequency. So today specifically, we're going to be talking about the 4 key levels of our energy and how we can manage those to support us in our journey through life. So we're going to be talking about our spiritual energy, our mental energy, our emotional energy, and our physical energy. So our spiritual energy, this is pretty much the energy of tapping into our spiritual power, our intuitive gifts, learning how to communicate with your spirit and soul, being able to understand and unlock your soul's purpose. Now, there is actually a difference between our spirit and soul, and if you've been in my world for any length of time, you will have heard me talk about this. Our spirit, it lives inside of us. It communicates with us in the dream time. It loves to travel. It actually can leave our body, and it astral travels as we dream. And it can actually bring back, access those higher states of awareness and bring back to us insights. So if you have a problem or you're struggling with a challenge, you can actually learn how to communicate with your spirit, to seek guidance, to get the answers to any question or any challenge or any problem that you're dealing with in your life. There's so many wonderful examples. Maybe you've had them too, where you've woken up with a solution to a problem. Einstein discovered the law of relativity in a dream. And Edison, you know, he was always napping. He was a very prolific inventor, and he used the power of dreaming, the power of napping, to actually access those higher states of awareness. And this is the work that I love to do, working with my clients in the dream time, helping them to harness their 6th sense to leverage that in their everyday life and business. I work with my dreams nightly, and this is what I teach my clients to do. And I have a really cool free resource that if this is landing or resonating for you, just can head over to my website at louise-wilson.com, and there's a great free resource there where I give you 3 simple steps that can support you in starting to communicate with your spirit so you can solve any problem or challenge while you're sleeping. How cool is that? So that's our spirit. Now, we also have our soul, and the soul is, if you will, that sort of Rolodex. It's a library of the memory and history of all the experiences we've ever had in this lifetime, but also in past lives, and also the experiences of our ancestors. And we can access this library of wisdom through the powerful process of guided soul journeys, guided past life journeys, and guided ancestral journeys. This is the work, again, that I love to do and facilitate with my clients. And in this way, you know, as you journey within through soul journeys, you actually can access the keys, unlock the keys to your past and your future. Because as you connect with your soul, you can get clarity and answers. You can unlock your purpose, understand what your soul's purpose is here, you know, in this lifetime, but also start to unlock those memories, past life memories, ancestral memories. You have an opportunity to remember the gifts, the many gifts that you carry within you, because this isn't our first rodeo. We've lived many lifetimes, but that knowledge and wisdom, it doesn't disappear with us when we die. It continues on. It's sort of added to the database, if you will, the bank of memory within your soul. And you can access this and you can activate those gifts that lie dormant within you. You can also, as you connect with your soul, understand more of who you were, you know, in past lives, and also understand the events and maybe the beliefs that you've accumulated in those lifetimes, or that your ancestors have passed on to you, the less positive limiting beliefs that are keeping you stuck and playing way too small of a game in this life. And you can do this work at a deep soul level to heal and release those beliefs. So connecting with your soul, this is, oh my goodness, something that I love to teach in my Clarity Now masterclass. It's a 4-hour masterclass, and during that masterclass you actually have an opportunity to connect with your soul so that you can begin to see into your future, understand what it is that you truly want, who supports you in the realms of spirit, and very importantly, what are those invisible blocks at a present life, past life, and ancestral level that are keeping you stuck, you know, in life. Okay, so that's talking about your spiritual energy, connecting with your spirit and your soul. Now I want to talk about how to manage your mental energy. Now here, when we're talking about mental energy, this is your thoughts, what you're thinking. These are the beliefs that you currently have about yourself and what you think you're capable of. And our beliefs really powerfully impact how we show up in the world. But you'll find in the word belief the word lie. And if you have beliefs that limit you, you have an opportunity to shift those and change them, to choose beliefs that can support you in life. So this is what I mean about managing your mental energy. It's about taking an inventory, understanding the beliefs that you're operating from in your day-to-day, because those beliefs are actually determining how you show up, the actions you take. And I can demonstrate this as a really powerful story that I'll quickly share here, because I think it really powerfully illustrates just how much our beliefs determine who we are and how we act, how we behave, and the results that we get in our lives. So it's a tale of 3 best friends, and they went to war, and one of the friends died very sadly, and the other 2 friends were devastated, but it was how they responded to this event. You know, one friend, he made the decision in his grief that he could never love again deeply and fully, because he didn't know when he was going to lose those that he loved. You know, and somebody that chooses to protect their heart, to not love deeply and fully, you can see how their life's going to unfold, what kind of relationships they're going to have, and how that's going to impact how they show up and the relationships with other people. The other friend, in his grief, decided, I never know when I'm going to lose the ones that I love, so I'm going to choose to love deeply and fully in my relationship. So you can see how somebody who chooses to love deeply and fully, what kind of relationships they're going to have, what kind of life they're going to have. And so this is a really powerful example of how the events, the things that happen to us, the circumstances of our lives, how much they dictate the beliefs that we have, the decisions we make about ourselves, and how those decisions affect how we show up in the world. They affect the actions that we take. And so if you really want to change your life, or if you're wondering, how do I know if I have limiting beliefs? How do I know if I'm stuck? Then just simply look around you, because going back to the whole thing about match the energy and the frequency of the reality you want. If you don't currently have what you want, just look around you. And if that's the case, then there's some old programming or beliefs that are playing out that are preventing you from attracting to you that which you desire. So if you want to change your life, you have to begin with changing your beliefs. So this is all about learning how to work with and manage your mental energy to uncover the beliefs that don't support you, to heal and release them, and to replace them with new and empowering beliefs that support you in the pursuit of your goals and dreams. And so next I want to touch upon our emotional energy. This is so important, but the thing about our emotions are that they're very much tied to our beliefs. You see, where there's a belief, there's usually an emotion, right? And so our emotions have a frequency. So again, we're coming back to this notion of energy, frequency. Our emotions, each emotion has a specific vibration and frequency. So if you think about enlightenment, it's sort of way up there on the frequency scale at 700, the vibration frequency of that. Peace is 600, joy is 550, love is 500. But then when you go way down, right? Anger, 150, fear, 100, guilt, 30. How much do we beat ourselves up and feel guilty? But look at that frequency. Look at where it is on the scale of vibration. It's very low. And then there's shame. I think it's around 20. So if we're feeling guilt, if we're feeling shame, that's a very low frequency and energy to be operating from. So perhaps you're beginning to see why it's so important that we learn how to manage our emotions, because this is how we communicate with the universe, is through the power of our emotions, through that frequency. And there's been a whole bunch of scientific research done to back this up. If you, there's a great resource that I love sharing with people, and that is Greg Braden's DVD, The Science of Miracles, where he actually demonstrates and illustrates, backs it up with scientific research and data, how much our emotions affect the world around us. Again, it's coming back to that whole notion that Einstein said of frequency and matching the frequency of the reality you want. You cannot help but get that reality. So our emotions are really the language of the universe. And then you see how our emotions can be tied into our beliefs. We believe that we're not worthy of success, or we feel guilt and shame. Where there's a belief, there's an emotion. So, when we feel certain emotions and feel a certain way, that's going to impact what happens around us. If we have a crappy day, wake up on, and things don't start off on a good footing, if we don't correct that, catch it, we can find ourselves in that sort of spiral where it just more of the same. Going back again to what Einstein said, we have to match the frequency of the reality you want, to attract that reality. So at all times, the universe is responding to the energy and frequency you're putting out there. So if we want to manage that energy, we have to start doing that deep inner healing to be able to uncover the beliefs that are driving the behavior and creating the emotions, creating those accompanying emotions, keeping us stuck in this cycle of getting all of the things we don't want rather than the things that we do want. And finally, I just want to talk about our physical energy. So this is the energy in which we show up on a day-to-day. It's how we take action. We have to take action. We can't just, I think for a long period of time, people thought, okay, just affirmations, say the affirmations, and that's going to get me what I want. Everything I'm sharing with you today, you can see that it's the whole spectrum of our energy that we have to manage, our spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical, so we can't just do affirmations, then go eat a sandwich. I love that. James, I think it was Jim Carrey, is something that he shared. But we need to show up and take action. But we need to know what action we want to take, right? We need to know where we want to go. We need to get clear on what we want. We need to be able to know what our purpose is, what our soul's purpose is, and the steps we need to take to manifest that. And then we need to start taking action in the right energy, the right kind of action, but also acting within the right energy and frequency. So all of this work, it's a powerful body of work to be able to understand how to manage the 4 key levels of your energy. And the hippies, as I said at the beginning, were right all along. It's all about our vibe. We are magnets, and we can magnetize to us that which we want, but our magnet has to be clean, clear. And this is the work that we do in my signature program and process, Freedom Now, where I actually facilitate that journey and that process for you to connect with your spirit and your soul, your ancestors, your guides and guardians, so that you can get clear on what you want. You can unlock your soul's purpose. You can discover your uniquely powerful past life and ancestral gifts that are going to support you in doing the work that you want to do in the world. And then it's also about doing the deep inner healing at a past life and ancestral level and present life level, to let go of those limiting beliefs and BS stories that are preventing you from showing up in the energy you need to show up in to have what you truly want. And so really it's all about mastering those 4 key levels of your energy so that you can magnetize to you that which you desire, letting go finally. Can you imagine how that will feel to finally be able to let go of the fears, the doubts, the anxiety, to take the break off, to stop second guessing yourself and feeling as though waiting for the shoe to drop, to take the brakes off and just go for it. Go for those big goals and dreams, because you are being powerfully supported by your spirit and your soul, your ancestors, your guides and guardians. You are able to fully embody your brilliance as an infinite, immortal, spiritual being living in a physical body, because you've done the work to connect at a deep soul level, and all of this work enables you to step into your infinitely best self, who you are as an infinite, immortal, spiritual being, so that you can live your infinitely best life. There you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. In just running through the whole notion of how you can actually begin to take control of your life by taking control of your energy. And if you go to my website, I've got some pretty cool resources, free resources there that you can actually dive into right away. There's one in particular, that supports you to connect with your spirit, so that you can, while you're sleeping, so that you can work to problem solve any problem or challenge that you're currently experiencing in your life and business while you're sleeping. That's such a cool resource. It's a simple 3-step process, and I share a free PDF on my website that can get you started right away to start communicating with your spirit. Alrighty, folks. And also, if you're interested in the Clarity Now Masterclass process to connect with your soul, or the Freedom Now process, there's more information on my Work With Me page on my website. Alrighty. Thank you so much for joining me today. So wonderful to connect with you in this way, and I shall see you in the next episode. Bye for now.